Welcome back to ATC News. I'm Sammy Coens.
And I'm Sydney Oaks. Our first story will be discussing how the U.S. is contributing to mental health in schools. On October 19th, the U.S. Department of Education released the document supporting child and student social, emotional, behavioral, and mental health. The document provides information and resources on promoting mental health in schools among students.
This document is part of the COVID-19 Return to School Roadmap, which was introduced to support teachers and students returning to school this year. Along with the resources, a pandemic relief fund of $190 billion was given to schools. This money has been used to invest in staff training, wellness screenings, and curriculum emotional social learning.
For example, Kansas has opened up an after-school clinic and sensory rooms for students getting frustrated. Paterson, New Jersey has set up teams to identify students in a crisis.
Now let's move on to our special guests to hear what they have to say about how they are implementing mental health policies.
Schools have begun using universal screeners where they give them to their students at the beginning of the year and at the end of each semester.
We have the Live, Laugh, Love series, which we introduced to 9th graders and 10th graders this year because of the pandemic. But that teaches positive mental health.
They've also started training employees on how to spot at-risk youth and what to do in that case.
The biggest positive effect is that kids get mental health services rapidly.
I've seen a large increase in the number of students that have been self-referring themselves for services.
There's no concern about being able to pay for it. It's all covered.
I think part of this stigma has gone away the more we talk about it and the more programs are open in our schools.
Trained licensed counselors are able to meet with kids literally sometimes the next day, but certainly within that week.
So Michigan has been funding what's called the 31N grant, and this grant was given to high schools across the state. This grant funds what's the program that's called Caring for Students. Caring for Students pays for therapists, but then it also pays for speech therapists, social workers, occupational therapists, and those funds go to pay for services for students that might not be able to get outpatient services due to not having insurance or just outpatient services being expensive.
It's truly great to see how our schools are helping students. In fact, the NC Research Career Tech Center has found many ways for students to uplift each other and create a positive impact between peers.
Now, we'll be taking a look at the PAID program, which our local BPA members are advocating. Here's what Vice President Libby has to say about the PAID program.
So the peer-to-peer recognizing program is when you notice something else that your classmate or other peer did that was outstanding or really good, and to give them recognition for that. So we're thinking of a few different ways to do that. One will be like setting aside 10 to 15 minutes of at like the beginning of a class period to go on the computer and do that, or fill out a slip after something good happens, and we're going to advertise it with like what reward or like recognition you'll get. So we hope that this will have many positive impacts by kind of giving people the recognition for doing something good and hopefully encouraging others, and so that people don't feel like their good deeds went unnoticed.
So PAID is part of our PBIS program, which is Positive Behaviors, Interventions, and Supports. So just this year we started Career Bucks. So we have a school store, we have a restaurant, we have a salon. So we thought of what are fun ways to do recognition systems for people meeting expectations. That's one of our big goals that I'm looking forward to this year, is finishing that project so that we can actually have students going live.
What a wonderful program. I hope that students and staff can continue to support each other and spread kindness.
That concludes our broadcast for the day. We hope you have a wonderful evening. My name is Sammy Coens.
And I'm Sydney Oaks. Until next time.